Sir Ed, yesterday you said Elon Musk was a criminal. We later heard that the chief executive of your party was meeting with lawyers to discuss this matter. Are you expecting to be sued by Musk?
I've no idea what he's going to do, and frankly, we're very relaxed. The truth is, what I was saying yesterday, he and his company have clearly broken the law, and I hope Ofcom and the authorities will investigate, and he will be brought to book. Parliament passed the Online Safety Act. We know Elon Musk doesn't like it, but the truth is, we did that to protect our children. And on X, there are adverts for videos of child sex abuse, of grooming, of self-harm, clearly breaking all the rules, all the laws. And the truth is, when Elon Musk took over Twitter and renamed X, he got rid of a lot of the people who were monitoring and protecting our children, and he's now allowing this to happen. So it's absolutely right that he's called out for it. Just because he's, the wealthiest man in the world and very powerful, he should be held to account for his actions. And
you'd be happy to, presume, repeat the claim, or would you welcome legal action?
Yeah, I would. I mean, let's see what the courts say. Ultimately, it's they make the final decision. I expect the rule of law, right? They make the final decision, but I think the evidence is pretty clear from what I can see. But let Ofcom do the investigation.
You're a big fan of stunts, obviously. However, the think tank More in Common found that almost 2/3 of voters think that you need to ditch the stunts and get serious. Are you worried that these are damaging your party and your chance of success at the next election?
No, we always listen to the voters, but actually we've had lots of great feedback. The truth is, you don't have to take yourself too seriously as a politician, but you've got to take the voters seriously, and their concerns on things like health and care, cost of living, immigration, the environment, all those we take very seriously. And here at Bournemouth, we've been putting forward well thought through policies to bring the change that people want. The Liberal Democrats want a decent, caring country, true to British values, where we really sort out the problems in the health service, particularly by supporting family carers and reforming social care. We want to cut the cost of living for people who are suffering under high bills. We're particularly focused on slashing energy bills in half over the next decade. Lots of things like that that I think are really on people's minds. So we've got serious policies, but I think bringing a smile to people's faces, there's nothing wrong with that. Politics can be quite grim, can't it, at the moment, and a lot of divisiveness and nastiness. And I think actually, if you get a bit of attention, and at the last election when I did them, I was able to talk more about Liberal Democrat policies and values than I'd ever done before. So, I think we can win people around.
And obviously you're right that it does get attention, not being one of the main two parties, obviously you struggle to get media exposure, and it does help, but have you had any concerns from within your own party, not just sort of the wider public, that this might be a problem, and how do you convince them that ultimately this strategy is working and worth it?
First of all, we won 72 MPs at the last general election when we were trialling this. That was the most we've won for over 100 years, so there's a little bit of evidence that it worked, as well as the great feedback we've had from many people across the country. But actually, when I talk to my members of Parliament, they're queuing up to be part of the stunts. They really like them. And when we talked about it in the hall yesterday, when I was having questions and answers from Liberal Democrat members, I think it was Caroline Quinn who was mediating the session, and she asked the audience what they thought, and it was almost like everybody said, yeah, go for it.
You've been very critical of some other party leaders, in particular Nigel Farage, who you are determined to stop getting into number 10. One person you haven't been so critical of is Keir Starmer. Is this because you're trying to keep a door open for a possible coalition?
No, actually, if you look at what I do every week at Prime Minister's Questions, I'm holding Keir Starmer and Labour to account because I think they've been very disappointing. I think what they've done on pensioners and disabilities, what they've done with respect to small businesses, to farmers, so many other issues, they've been hugely disappointing. We completely disagree, and we voted against that government. But in the House of Commons, I don't often get the chance to criticise other party leaders. At conference you do, and it's Nigel Farage who I think, given that his party is ahead in the polls, he needs to be scrutinised. And I fear sometimes he hasn't been properly scrutinised, because what he really wants to do, and people should be really worried about this, he wants to make Britain more like America, more like Trump's America in particular. And I think that goes against British values. I don't think he's a true patriot. He wants to change our country towards America. He even said, this is incredible, a little while ago, that he thinks Vladimir Putin is the world leader he most admires. It's quite shocking. He went to the United States Congress and said free speech in the UK is like North Korea. That's an insult to our country, and he needs to be held to account.
And on Nigel Farage, he held a press conference today, which got lots of coverage. Does that annoy you, especially because you're in the middle of your conference trying to make your case?
It doesn't annoy me. Listen, I just hope people ask him questions about what he was saying, because what he was saying was wrong. What he's proposing actually is lots more red tape and bureaucracy, huge increase in bureaucracy, huge cost to the taxpayer. He's got form in this. He was part of the whole campaign on Brexit. That's cost the taxpayer billions and billions. It's led to massive red tape for businesses and undermined our economy. So let's examine what this man says, because both it's really bad for our country and really takes us towards Trump's America. And the thing is, he says he's got these changes. Liberal Democrats have got changes. We want to change the country. We reject what Labour and the Tories have done with our country. I don't think they're trusted anymore. I think the party that can beat reform at the next election with a more positive agenda of change for our country and the health service and the cost of living and the environment and so on is the Liberal Democrats. And I think our proposal are much truer to true British values.
And just last one for me on the next election. You got a large number of seats in the last election. You're obviously looking to increase that. Would you be targeting 100 seats? Do you think you could get there?
Oh, there's no ceiling on our ambitions. You'd be surprised about how many seats we're looking at now. We were surprised at the last election with our best result for 100 years. My prediction is we'll be the big surprise of the next election.
And yes, you'll hit 100.
Listen, you're putting a ceiling on it. I don't put any ceiling. I'm way more ambitious.
Band ready! 1, 2, 3, 4!
But now we've got bigger targets to go for, haven't we? Yeah. Doesn't the country need us? Yes. And we're determined to be that party of decent, caring Britain.
Yes.
The vast majority of people who want a decent, caring party, who are going to take this government on and hold them to account for what they've done to pensioners, to disabled, to farmers, to businesses. We're going to be that party. But we're also going to stand up to the divisive politics of Nigel Farage. Yeah! And it'll be only the Liberal Democrats offering a positive change, a change true to British values, whereas I'm afraid the other old parties are incapable of doing that. It's up to us to take on the divisive Farage. We'll do that, but we'll offer something much, much better. A great Liberal Democrat set of ideas on health and care, the cost of living, the environment, on Europe, and so many other things we're going to debate this weekend and next week. So thank you very much for coming. It's going to be a great, great time. Thank you.